How's it going? David from Comic Book Investments. So, Spider-Man, what did you bring me today? Well, right here, we're going to open a $15,000 mail call. One book. I know someone out there who's going to love this book. I did an interview with him on his channel. Yes, this is take that back. I kind of had one of these. I'll explain more later, but let's open it and let's see what's inside. Got my keys here. They're really sharp. My goodness, so many barriers of entry. All right, so packing job was good. Not in a bag and board. I love that. Just love it. $15,000. Can't bother to put it in a bag and board. Just a bag. Okay. Yeah. So packing was good. Doesn't look ruined at all. And now we have to see. I'm hoping that there's no restoration, missing pages, coupons come out. No hidden defects I wasn't aware about. Oh, that's why I hate this part. Because it's one thing if it's a book I get all the time or a common book, anything like that. I don't care as much. But when it's a book like I've never had before, super rare, super expensive, it breaks my heart when it doesn't work out. So what book am I talking about? I got myself, ready for this? A Wonder Woman #1. Yes. So let's see if there's anything wrong with it. Take the tape. If it's on the tape, I always take the tape completely off. Like there's no reason tape should be anywhere near a book when you're looking at it. What's the point? Only bad things can happen. And tape is cheap. Get yourself a new piece of tape. And thankfully it's the nice tape that easily comes off the bag. Not like you're just tape everywhere. Okay. So let me get. Okay. All right. Whew. Man. I don't know if you guys want to watch me go through everything. It's kind of boring, but you count the pages ever so gently. Okay, we got 16 to the centerfold. That's how many you need. And in case the centerfold, the middle two pages are detached and they're really brittle. So what happened was they probably got detached long ago and they hung out the side and then they got in the sun and things like that. And they just became brittle and got messed up and torn. Because on the inside, right near the actual spine, it's supple. It's not flaky. But on the outside, it's pretty flaky. So in case you ever want to know how many pages, they vary with Golden Age, but anything Silver Age to now is 8 to the centerfold, not including the cover. So you count 8 pages, centerfold, 8 pages again. You're at the end, and then you got the 2 covers. So so 8 pages each side to the centerfold, and then the cover. You can go online, and I think it's like Read Comics something, and they have like every comic there, and you can like go through, and I use that all the time to see what pages are missing, if a page is missing or something. So 16, good there. So let's see if 16 on the other side. And that's good there. So, I mean, I wish I had another camera so it was pointing down so you could see me check this, but it is what it is. I only have one camera. So I'm hoping to get 2. Okay, so pages there. I didn't see anything cut out or anything missing. It didn't look like anything was married. I mean, the only ones that could possibly be married would be the centerfold, but the outside of it looks kind of different because it's tan from hanging out further in the book, but the inside looks fine. So that would be the only worry there. I'll probably check it. I always double check everything. Now I check for restoration. Okay, I don't see any restoration on my initial check. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna recheck this again. Um, but just my initial assessment, it's got the bottom staple detached, top staple barely attached, tons of spine roll, writing on the cover, all sorts of stuff. It's definitely tanned and brittle. So you never, like when I'm counting the pages, I always have the cover kind of on its own and then the pages. So like I basically kind of make a claw. So the cover is not really moving with the pages. It just sits there in my hand. And I would never open the book from here to here and let the weight of the cover push down. So like if you have a book like this and you open it like this, and the weight of this cover will be pushing down on the spine, even though it's barely in anything, but it still pushes. And if it's a brittle spine, you could get it rip and you could maybe pop a staple or something like that. So I'm always kind of holding it. And that's kind of like when I opened it like this, like I'm not going to just take this page and let it fly down. I'm going to hold it on the spine. So I'm supporting the spine of the book as I check inside. So the weight of it is not there. Same with the front cover. Pages, they're a little, like these pages minus the edge, a little brittle on the centerfold. These pages are fine. Like they don't look like anything's gonna happen. So I can be a little more normal with them, flipping through them and kind of count. Other than that, so yeah, that was my biggest worry, that I was missing a page or something like that. I'm gonna have, it doesn't look damaged from shipping at all. It looks basically how I thought it was gonna look. I'm gonna give it a once over again, get it a nice little bag and backer board. Usually more expensive ones, I like, this one's pretty big. So since it has a spine roll, it's not gonna fit in a standard Golden Age. So I put it in a magazine. That's what I'm gonna do with this. And the way I do that is I take the cardboard, the backer board, I place the book on top. Then I slide that into the bag. I'll probably have another backboard in there as well. So once again, backboard, book, bag and backboard already put together, slide it in, because that way you're only if you slide it from, you just take the bag and you slide the book in like this, take the book and slide it in like that. You have to worry about the back and the front from clipping anything, something rubbing against the wrong way, a piece falling off, especially with these older books that are brittle. So if you already have the book on the backer board already and you go to slide in, all you have to do is worry about the front side because the back side is flat against the backer board. So yeah, pretty happy. I'm gonna look through it again, like I said, and yeah, I have Wonder Woman 1. So that's nice. Doesn't look like evidence of trimming. I'm gonna double check that centerfold, make sure it's not married, and there's no evidence of color touch, no evidence of glue, nothing missing. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm also gonna, make sure all the pages are there, because this is what happened. I said I almost had a Wonder Woman 1 before, years ago, when I was a little boy in this field, not knowing what I was doing. We bought a Wonder Woman 1, very inexpensive to how they are today. The book was probably a 3540, somewhere around there. It was nicer than this, definitely nicer than this. It was like actually pretty nice. And I think I paid like $1,500 for it, or $2,000. I know this is much long ago. Anyways, paid that kind of money and get it in. And at the time, I believe we weren't using CGC. I don't think so, or not as much as we do now. We weren't really grading our comics. I said this is a long, long time ago. We weren't really grading our comics. We sold most everything raw, things like that. And by the time we got around to it, we're like, hey, we should get this graded. I think like months had already passed by. And stupidly, we didn't know, but someone, because I was more dumb back then, what someone actually did was they had the Wonder Woman 1 cover, but then they took an inside of a different Wonder Woman comic And we had no idea. Like the first page too was Wonder Woman 1. So when you look at, and they'll say like down at the bottom, like all the text, like you can buy this subscription or whatever it says, trademark, blah, blah, blah. That was Wonder Woman 1. But we had to notice that most of the book was switched over to something else, a different Wonder Woman comic in general. I think it was like, I don't know, Sensation Comics in like the teens or the 20s. And so we sent it in. They're like, it's married cover to another book. And I was like, oh no. So that's, after that I learned. So that's what experience is supposed to be. Experience is failing, learning from your mistakes, and then doing it over again the right way when, that thing happens to you again, like this Wonder Woman. So we never really had a Wonder Woman 1. Never had a Sensation Comics number 1. We've had an All-Star 8. That's her first appearance. Yeah. So cool. This, in case someone is wondering what's going to happen to this book here, it is going into the vault. So this will not be for sale. So we've come to realize that when we get things that are rare, that we rarely get, into the vault they go. So Spider-Man 129, Hulk 181s, those would be for sale all day long. But Wonder Woman's 1s, All-Star 8s, Action Comics number 1s, Detective 27s, if we ever get one of those books one day, they will go in the vault. So this one will go in the vault and never to be seen again until we are old and ready to retire. And I guess we would sell it then. I don't even know. Maybe we'll take it to the grave with us. So one out of circulation, never to be seen again. All right. Have a good day.